Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go.
And so we are on the record in the matter of the city of Riverview versus Edmund Moss, 24R360496.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Hurley on behalf of the people of the city of Riverview.
Thank you. And Mr. Moss, your name for the record, please.
My name is Edmund Moss.
Okay, sir. You have to stand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. My name is Edmund Moss.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And so today is the date scheduled for a formal hearing in this matter. And counsel?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Preliminarily there, I have two witnesses that are present. I don't know if you want to sequester, but more importantly, the video that Mr. Moss submitted to the court. It's a YouTube link and it was submitted by email. We would want to use that, play it somehow during the course of the proceeding. I can play it on my phone. I don't know if the court has had a chance to review it or how you want to proceed in terms of presenting it during the course of the hearing.
Okay, a couple of things. We will do a mutual sequestration order. So who are the two witnesses that the court needs to?
Mr. Calipori, the neighbor, and the officer, Sean O'Neill.
Sorry.
Lieutenant, I believe.
Lieutenant. Okay.
Lieutenant O'Neill.
Okay, so I'm going to have the two of you please step out until it is time for your testimony. There was a letter that was attached in a second email from a neighbor that the court reviewed. However, is that neighbor here to testify, sir?
No, he's not.
Okay, so the court's not going to accept that as evidence because it would be hearsay, and Mr. Hurley has to have an opportunity to question the witness that's putting that statement forward, and he can't question the letter.
Understood.
Okay, so.
So with that, the people are ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay.
Before we do, Your Honor, there is a dispute over the video. There is a part of it prior to when the police arrived on scene. And I think it only ought to be played from the time that the police arrived on scene to its conclusion, because nothing before it would have been privy to the police department prior to Lieutenant O'Neill, then Sergeant O'Neill, and Officer Parker's arrival on scene at my house on the 21st of July last year.
Your Honor, I disagree. I think the charge here is a civil infraction called unreasonable noise. And the first part of that video establishes the bulk of the case involving the unreasonable noise as to Mr. Calipori's involvement with Mr. Moss. So I think it's key that the court see the entire video.
Okay, and the court would agree. The court, the police were dispatched to the home, correct, or to the scene?
I don't believe the police were dispatched. They drove by or they came upon the scene.
Okay.
We'll get further testimony from O'Neill.
My understanding is that Mr. Calipori's wife called the police.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it.
That
Well,
could
then
be.
that would lend its hand more towards having the video prior to the police arrival, as that was why the police were called to the scene. So the court's going to play the video in its entirety.
You recorded it, correct?
Yes, it's part of my YouTube channel.
Okay, and so that would be Exhibit A, for Defense Exhibit A. So.
do you want? What do you want? Come over here for something? You want something?
As you can see, everyone, he's got his DoorDash bag. He never worked further than a day in his life. Because he wouldn't know what work is. Except when it comes to harassing and aggravating me.
Am I bothering you? I'm working on my truck. Could you go away?
I'm on my property.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Then I must be on your property.
Yeah, you are. And here's your crap. You better get it all off of there, too.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, you will. Oh, yeah, you will.
What was that?
It's you being the Dan the chicken man.
What was that?
Well, if you don't know what it is, chicken. Lay an egg for everybody, too.
Want to see my chicken dance?
I don't want to see any part of you. Except the backside of you when you move the hell out of this city.
Where am I going?
Well, ultimately, I'd say you're going to a very fiery place, but... It's a matter, you can have your friends do it and you can't handle it yourself. That figures. And that's why you're Dan the chicken man.
Get a shot of this. Get closer to that.
What? Yeah, that's his ass. I mean, he's all ass, everybody. He's all ass. I mean, every part of him's ass. And it stank, too. You ought to go take a shower.
Get a shot of him.
Yeah, he wants to show his ass. Why don't you moon everybody while you're at it? Let's see the full side of that moon.
Get a shot of this. There.
And again, that's his DoorDash bag, everybody. And more crap he's got in my lawn right here.
Here, film this.
Look at that. You got a gallon. You got 2 McDonald's plastic cups for whatever strange reason. You got some sort of electronic board.
Show that. Here, come on, film this. Take a picture of this. Zoom in on this. Come on.
And to the one viewer who referred to this as his death trap, you can see why. Obviously, he had the hood replaced. That's pretty clear cut, and you can see how it's all rusted out. And here's some more damage right there on that side. Oh, and here's some more tree bark he threw on my property. I'm gonna make sure I return that to him, though. Yeah, and you're about to get plucked. You're about to get plucked. Seriously.
Yeah. Did you get a shot of the lawsuit? Would your viewers like to see that?
No, I think they'd rather see the court action.
You want to see the papers? Show your friends.
No, I'll show them the court case.
Be more entertaining.
Wait, I'll get it out again. You want me to get it out?
Oh, guys, gonna show the full side of the moon, everyone. Take cover. You ain't one to talk. You never grew up, Peter Pan. I'm just relating at a level that your limited intellect can handle.
Don't insult me like that.
Oh, yes, I'm sure it's just so painful. Well, you know what? You are an insult.
Why are you so mean to me? I never did nothing to you.
Yeah, you did.
What'd I do?
Right from the beginning.
What'd I do?
It'll come out.
Your viewers, what?
That'll come out. I don't need to.
Tell your viewers.
No. I'll start with the magistrate first, and then we'll go from there. But you know what you've done. God knows what you've done, and I certainly know what you've done.
Good luck on that. That's gonna go far.
Yeah. When you're prepared, you don't need luck as much.
When you're what? It's not a treatment.
I don't give a crap. It's fitting. It's going to be fitting for the new song that comes out called Dan Dan the Chicken Man. Be sure to watch it. I hope it's a lot of plays. It's going to be my mantra for this situation from now on. And get used to me singing it quite often. Get your crap out of the street.
Leave me alone?
Get your crap out of the street.
Why don't you leave me alone?
Get your crap out of the street.
Leave me alone.
No, you don't leave me alone.
Yeah, I bother you. Am I bothering you now?
I'm recording you, so you can go ahead and do what you want.
You're recording me.
Of course I am. I've been recording you.
Oh, I thought you were recording.
Nothing to report. I told you, buddy Merritt, I'll start handling you myself from now on. I don't need that motherfucker. That low-life bastard friend and dirty, corrupt cop.
Oh, come on. Mons, you can't call everybody corrupt.
I can call everybody in Riverview corrupt who's not named Bemis, and even I question him being corrupt as well. So he's just not as much so.
You're just mad at the world.
No, I'm not. And you need to not assume my feelings.
All right, playtime's over. Go away.
Who's playing? You're the one who's sitting around playing.
I'm cleaning my truck. Can I straighten out my truck?
Go right ahead. I'm not stopping you.
I know you're not stopping me.
Well, then why are you? Then I'm not stopping you.
Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
This gentleman started slamming his door, and I turned the camera on. So
Okay. Can you go talk to Sergeant O'Neill for me?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm on my property. I'm on my property. I'm not going anywhere. I'm on my property.
Okay. Calm
You want to
down.
talk to me?
I am calm. Don't assume my feelings.
Okay, do you have what you need?
Well, I was just cleaning my truck.
Okay, that's another one from my 21. Didn't know you. Now I do. Okay, I'll add you to the list.
Okay, so he's cleaning out his truck, and what?
No, he was slamming his door. I came out and turned my camera on. I was recording him from back there, but decided to step out and get some fresh air, and I wanted to see what this crap was he threw on my property. I made him get the crap out of the street. He's put all this water in the street. And while that may be legal, he's trying to, instead of messing up in front of his own house, he's trying to do it in front of mine. I'm not going to stand for that easily.
Oh, it's water. It's gonna dry today.
Well, that's fine, but that's not the point, and you know it.
Okay. Well,
And for the record, I hope your partner tells him I didn't call you guys. I mean, I did initially because he was not moving the back of his truck, and I thought he might need medical assistance. That would be the only reason why. But certainly, I don't trust your corrupt department to handle any type of situation. But I don't know you, and I don't know you, so I'll exclude the two of you.
What's the situation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got a beard now. Sorry.
What's the situation, Mr. Moss?
I just want to get my shoe.
Situation was he was slamming his door. I came out and recorded him. I mean, I'm not saying he's doing. I didn't call your department saying he did anything illegal, but what I'm doing is not illegal either.
Okay.
So So why there's police intervention for something that's legal, which is interesting because I just heard from Sergeant Brown how he won't interfere, and when that man threatened me, how he wouldn't do anything because he wasn't doing anything illegal. So why is there police intervention now? This is part of the inconsistency I'm talking about with the department.
Trying to prevent right now.
I'm not trying to prevent anything. He was doing something and I came out to document it. That's perfectly within my rights, Sergeant. I was documenting what he was doing. No, I documented what he's doing. I'm standing here documenting you because you guys stopped your vehicle that's parked on the wrong side of the street, not legally. And if you want to start yelling, I can sure as hell write you up a report with Lieutenant Merritt. But he's the one that was yelling. He's the one that likes to yell because he thinks he can hide behind his wife, but she ain't going to cover your ass forever.
Or I'm going to arrest you for disorderly person.
Yeah, you probably would because you're under the swift influence.
Mr. Moss, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you a very clear warning. If you continue to be loud and disruptive, I am going to take you to jail for disorderly person. Do you understand that?
And do you understand if you yell at me one more time, I'm going to the station talking to Lieutenant Merritt with a complaint in my hand with your name on it.
I'm worried about the disturbance that you're causing.
I'm not causing disturbance. I'm on my property right now.
Are you all set?
Are you?
I'd like to be, yeah.
Well, good. Get in your vehicle and go because you guys don't do anything anyway, so go do your nothing elsewhere. Well, I am calm. Don't assume my feelings. That's part of your problem. You think you know me and you don't. You don't know me. Now you're raising your voice. I'm going to Lieutenant Merritt about that. No, well, I can raise my voice, but you're not going to threaten me.
I'm trying to talk to you.
No, you're not trying to talk to me. You're trying to preach to me, and I don't know whatever you're trying to preach. Live as many years as I do, and then you can start telling me stuff about something. No, I am not. He's the one that likes to provoke fights, not me. That's where you have it twisted. So what? That's within my right. That's 100% legal.
Let's have a conversation. You tell me what your problem is today.
Did I say I had one? Other than you two pulling up and interrupting what happened, well, you know what? Go get your eyes checked then. Go get your eyes checked, Sergeant. Well, I have an issue every day with him, seemingly, but I didn't have one today. I just pulled my camera out and start recording because video doesn't lie.
Because
video doesn't lie.
Well,
see, you don't listen. Video doesn't lie. Because he started slamming his door. That drew my attention, and he draws my attention. I'm going to come out here. That's the way it's going to be from now on.
Come stand out here and video.
I didn't right away. I stood there for the longest time, but he went on and on and on. And then he started putting crap in my grass. And yeah, I'm going to find out what that crap is. He's putting it in my grass on my property. You doggone right, and I have every right to do so.
Video where I saw you throwing tree bark into his yard.
I was returning his property to him.
The tree bark?
That's from his tree. Go look at how he shaves his tree, if you dare.
Why you're out here today?
No, I was out here, like I said before, and do I need to repeat it for a third time? He slammed his door, that drew my attention, and that's what started the videoing.
You come out here and start a...
No, I thought I would stand there and start videoing because I wanted to see what happened. I only called your department because I saw two feet not moving in the back, and I thought he might need medical assistance. Then he started moving, so I hung up as soon as he did.
Well, and then once you decided that he doesn't need medical assistance, you continued to record him?
No, I went back to recording him. I didn't record while I called.
To him while you were recording?
We may have talked a little bit. I'll refer to the video and that. I was trying not to talk to him at all, but he starts conversations every time. I don't.
Is there a reason you had to get so close to him to record him?
It's my property. It's my property. I'm going to be on it.
Mr. Moss, I never said it wasn't your property. You have so many disputes with this neighbor, but you decide to come out and film him standing right next to him while he's just trying to...
Okay, I got a better question for you, Officer Parker. Is there a reason he had to come within a foot of me the other night and threaten to knock me out?
I wasn't here for that.
Well, but talk about your whole department's responsible for it.
That's posted on your YouTube?
It's one of them. I've posted a lot of videos.
Him by throwing tree bark.
No, I returned his property to him because I got tired of it being in my yard.
Back with you, you had an issue with that.
I have an issue with him littering my yard, as you know. I refer you to the council meeting where I dangled the 2-quart bag in front of your wife and the mayor and 5 other council members.
Automatically assume with no evidence that this person placed tree bark.
Go look at his tree and how shaved it is.
Evidence of him putting tree bark.
He's not going to give me that. But if
so
you
you're making an assumption that
I'm making a very educated guess. Go look at his tree and well, let's compare the tree bark to his shaved tree.
Of the wind being able to carry.
No, wind blows northeast.
Okay, every day?
In the fall, it tends to blow more easterly, like I told Lieutenant Merritt.
Okay, so you're a weatherman.
I actually, since I know you're being sarcastic, it was one of the things I studied when I took an aptitude test when I was in my 20s. So I actually do study the weather more than most average people.
Too?
No, but Ron over at DPW is, and that's why I'm going to him, because Lieutenant Merritt suggested I do so, and if he listened to me finish, you'd know that.
Sandpaper and then discovered that it was tree bark.
Because Lieutenant Merritt, I'll give him credit for that.
It seems to me that you're just on edge.
That's your opinion and wrongful assumption, because you want to set me up, and you got everything so twisted in your mind you can't see straight.
In the last 2 or 3 years, because we talk to you daily. So
no, you haven't really talked to me. You had to talk to me because I filed a complaint against you because you went off the one day when I thought he broke my window, and I had to file a complaint against you just about. Yeah, that's right. And we can go down and talk to Lieutenant Merritt, and he'll set you straight on that right now.
Is it the police department? How can we fix this problem?
Well, get in your car and go.
Okay.
That's the only thing you can do.
Be out here creating a disturbance.
No, he went back inside his house.
I'm going to tell you that you're going to go to jail for a disorderly person. So I hope.
Well, I wouldn't be threatening me because your department already screwed up for discrimination. Well, you are threatening me.
Information. And hopefully you make the right decision. And
I hope your department makes the right decision and stops targeting me, because if it doesn't, I'm going to harangue your whole damn department one officer at a time.
And I'm not trying to offend you right now, but there's a satellite program with the Guidance Center in Southgate for people who are having mental health.
You know what? You go get yourself mentally health checked. No. Lieutenant Sergeant Gentry already labeled me. He already labeled me. That's why you guys screwed up. I wouldn't if it was on fire now.
I have the ability to get you to talk to somebody right now.
Well, then get yourself some help and get Mayor Swift and your sick council before this city ends up in receivership.
Okay, well,
because this city is sick.
Well, then maybe you should move, Mr. Moss.
I'm not gonna move. Not unless he wants to give me about $25 million to move. I got too much invested in this area, so I'm not moving easily. And I'm not going to be run out by your department, you or Swift. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're under orders from Merritt, who's taking orders from the chief through Swift. Don't try to tell me. And you're just, no, it's not a paranoia. That's fact. That's fact. It's fact. Just like Mayor Swift saying, I will do anything to make sure I stay mayor. And he's damn well doing it.
You have this. You're paranoid.
No, I'm not, and you're not a doctor to diagnose me. Well, so if anything, you suffer from Napoleon syndrome, the same as Swift.
Okay, I don't have to be a doctor.
No, you suffer from Napoleon syndrome. You try to judge everybody because you think you wear a badge and you think it makes you a god, and that's why you think you can overtalk everybody.
Mr. Moss,
you take it down. You keep on.
You're going to jail.
For what?
You're going to jail for disorderly.
Don't drop my phone.
I will not drop your phone.
I told you about yelling and screaming here.
Yeah, okay.
Now you're going to jail for disorderly person.
Who's going to lock my front door? Because if anybody
I'll lock your front door.
Okay.
You want me? Ed, come on, calm down, bud.
You won't.
Mr. Hurley, would you like to call any witnesses, or do you think the court needs to, I will say that I think that I've seen all the evidence that I need to see on the video. I don't know that testimony would be something different unless there's something that it's obviously your
I have the witnesses here that were participating, Mr. Calipori and I would like to clarify one issue with Mr. Calipori, if I could, Your Honor.
Okay.
Have to swear him in, or?
Oh, you went to call him, I thought you were just trying to.
Maybe just one-
Make an argument, that's fine.
Could I talk with him briefly, and then maybe, Mr. Serrano has just a matter that needs to be adjourned real quick, and then he can be out of here? Can I just have a minute with Mr. Calipari while you take care of Mr. Serrano's adjournment?
Yes.
Thank you.
But before we do that, Mr. Moss, are you, do you have any witnesses that you'd like to call on your behalf?
I do.
Okay. All right, so then I'll have you speak with Mr. Calipari, and I'm going to handle Mr. Serrano's matter, and then we'll recall this matter. And so, Mr. Hurley, you're calling Mr. Calipari?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, we're back on the record in the matter of City of Riverview versus Edmund Moss, 24R360496. Sir, could you go over there, please? Okay, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please have a seat and
We gotta do it once.
just please state your name, state and spell your first and last names in the microphone as loud as possible so we can record all of my proceedings.
My name is Dan Calipari, live at 18197 Valet.
Okay, I'm sorry, your first, if you can spell your first and last names, please.
Dan, D-A-N, Calipari, K-E-L-L-E-P-O-U-R-E-Y.
Okay. All right, and counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Calipari, you are the next door neighbor of Mr. Moss, correct?
Yes,
And in that video that we just saw, the court just watched, you are the gentleman that's behind the truck in the blue shirt, correct? Okay, on that particular day, I wanted to clarify that the chicken sounds or rooster sounds or the cackling that was going on, that was not you making those sounds, correct?
no, absolutely not.
You moved your arm when it was happening. I just wanted to make it clear that you weren't the ones that was making the sounds. You were doing that in reaction to Mr. Moss making the sound?
Absolutely.
And Mr.
Absolutely.
Moss was the one making the loud noise?
Yes,
Okay. Would you say, is it reasonable to say that his behavior or that noise was annoying or disturbed your peace and quiet on the day you were out there in front of his house?
absolutely.
And you were on a public street with your truck, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Moss, you can cross-examine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Calipari, I'm being questioned when you parked in front of my house, could you have parked and done the same thing in front of your house?
No, I think my other car was there.
You sure about that?
Don't know.
Well, it's possible that generally you can park in front of your house to do that stuff.
Okay, I'm going to dial it in. I don't know, how's that relevant, sir?
If he wasn't in front of my house, none of this would have occurred. That's the relevancy, Your Honor.
So if Mr. Calipari didn't park in front of your house, there would not have been a reason for you to be out there for 20 minutes talking with
There
him.
would have been no recording whatsoever. That's correct.
No, hold on just a moment. I'm going to give you a little bit of leeway, sir, and that's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Calipari, do you usually, when you clean your truck, you usually do that in front of your house?
Objection to the usually, Your Honor. I think the matter, we're specific about this specific incident, not what usually happens.
Correct. So objection sustained.
All right. On the day in question, you admit that you placed stuff on my property and there was water in the street, correct?
Oh, yes.
Is there a reason why there was water in the street?
Oh, you can clearly see what I was doing in the video.
It wasn't so clear to me.
There's not, no, you don't get to make comments, Mr. Moss. You don't get to make comments like that.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay. Do you view what you did in this manner as being harassment towards me?
No.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, any follow-up questions, Mr. Hurley?
No further questions to Mr. Calipari, Your Honor.
Okay,
I really don't have any other witnesses. I'll rely on the video for the bulk of it. I have officers here, but I don't think we need to be redundant.
Okay? All right,
Thank you, Mr. Calatore.
Thank you, you may step down. All right, and so you don't have, the people don't have any further witnesses?
No, I'll rest on
Okay,
what we have, Your Honor.
all right, and so Mr. Moss, you said you.
I do have one witness to call. Before I do that, I would like to read the ordinance into the record as worded from the Muni Code of Review.
Okay, that'll be for closing arguments, but then call your first witness.
Okay, I'd like to call Lieutenant Sean O'Neill to the stand, please.
Okay. I'm going to be very clear. This is going to be question and answer regarding relevant questions as to this issue. Sir, why are you coming around the front? No. Nope. Stay back there. Nope. Stay back there, please. Understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this hand to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
Thank you. If you can please have a seat, state and spell your first and last names for the record in the microphone, please.
Sean O'Neill, SeanOneil.
Okay, and Mr. Moss, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lieutenant O'Neill, how long have you been a police officer for?
Almost 25 years.
And in that time, you and I have had a history prior to this video, correct, of yelling?
Are we saying it's mutual or one way? Because it seems to me the history is that when you communicate, you talk over top of people, and then voices get loud on your end. So I wouldn't say that it's a two-ended yelling conversation each time we talk.
What about, do you recall in April when I called your department about a broken window and you were cutting me off at that time?
Again, I stated this is going to be limited to relevant questions regarding the incident at hand.
It goes to
here.
history, Your Honor.
What is the relevance of the history?
He has a history of over-talking on, much like he did in that video. This is not the only time he's done this. And that's the point.
Mr. Moss, what is the relevance of Lieutenant O'Neill history regarding your interaction? What does that have to do with this incident from July 21st?
It's similar to this. Yeah,
Okay,
this is not the only time he's done it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, that is not why we are here today, so please focus on the circumstance of July 21st. The court's going to sustain the injunction.
Fair enough. Okay, pertaining to the video, why did you show up in the first place, and why did you show up in the first place?
I don't have the exact times. I think it was 1:35 p.m. that day. You had called the station, the phone rang 3 times, and then it hung up before dispatch could answer. And then the second time, I believe, was 6 minutes after your hang up, Mrs. Calipari called and said that you were making chicken sounds at her husband, Mr. Calipari, while he was in the street, and that you were recording it live on YouTube, and she was concerned that it was going to get out of hand. So our dispatcher had dispatched myself and Officer Parker to the residence to handle the disturbance.
Is it normal for the police to respond to a call of somebody making chicken sounds?
It certainly falls into the area of a disturbance, yes.
But when you and Officer Parker pulled to the property, was I doing anything illegal at the time?
No, you were not.
Then why did you hang around, if that's the case?
We had to have a conversation and figure out what the issue was, because we had your phone call and then Mrs. Calipari's phone call, and then you were very heated and agitated upon initial response.
Was it true I was only heated and agitated because you were cutting me off and you were elevating your voice, causing me to elevate mine?
I can't speak to why you were agitated, sir.
Fair enough. Fair enough, but you wouldn't dispute that, correct?
Dispute what?
That, what I said, that you were cutting me off mid-sentence and raising your voice, causing me to elevate mine.
I would dispute that.
How so?
You are very difficult to speak with, and I'm there to solve a problem, and I can't solve that problem if you don't allow me to speak as well.
Is it true that at the time this occurred that you were not a lieutenant, that you were a sergeant?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
What's the relevance of that, Mr. Moss?
He was a sergeant. He'd been under a lieutenant's command at that time as opposed to now with him being a lieutenant.
Okay, but what is the relevance of that?
That he was only a sergeant at the time?
Okay, but what is the relevance of the witness's rank as it relates to the events of that day?
It's a clarification question. I mean, I can move on from that if you'd like, Your Honor.
Yes.
It is a way of clarifying the situation.
You
for
may move
accuracy.
on. Objection sustained. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. In the video, I had mentioned to you and Officer Parker twice upon you asking, what can I do? And I gave you an opportunity for both of you to leave. At that time, why did you not leave?
Because you were clearly highly agitated and the disturbance that we were called there for was still ongoing.
But isn't it true that that you were the source of the agitation and therefore it was only going to escalate the situation?
I would disagree completely because you were out there live streaming, making chicken sounds and harassing your neighbor.
Is it true that your superior at that time was Lieutenant Christopher Merritt?
That's accurate.
And would you be surprised if I told you that I have rarely ever had a problem in having a conversation or otherwise with Lieutenant Merritt?
I don't understand the relevance, what your relationship is with Mr. Merritt to this incident.
Well, he was your superior for one thing when you were a sergeant. That's one thing.
Okay, what is the question, sir?
The question is, would you be surprised if I told you that I've had very little problem with then your superior in talking to Lieutenant Christopher Merritt?
Objection again, Your Honor, relevance to this line of questioning. How would it matter what his interaction is with his superior with regard to, in relation to this incident, what we witnessed on the video? It's totally two different things.
It shows that he would be one of the main problems, if not the most problematic officer that I deal with within the police department, and that there are others that I certainly do not.
Okay, but again, Mr. Moss, what is the relevance to the issues that occurred on July 21st?
The relevance is he's the only officer who cuts me off mid-sentence and tries to elevate his voice and trying to bait me, is my point.
Okay, well, I don't find that that's relevant for these proceedings, so please move on. Objection sustained.
In the video, Lieutenant O'Neill, you had mentioned mental health. Is it correct?
That's correct.
Okay. As it pertains to that, why would you even bring that up?
Because you were highly agitated and I could not get you to calm down, and it seemed to me, based on my experience of dealing with people who are having a mental health crisis, that you could potentially be having one yourself.
But are you a doctor in order to be able to make that determination?
I am not a doctor.
And you've never had any medical training beyond CPR training or the like, correct?
I have had mental health training throughout the course of my career, yes I have.
How many years of mental health training have you had?
Well, I wouldn't say, I haven't had years of training, I've had classes in mental health.
Okay. And that entitles you to make a determination about somebody's mental health.
That, combined with my 25 years of police experience, I would say yes.
How many interactions would you say you've had with me in the entire time you've been with the police department?
Would interactions include phone calls?
Yes.
Probably 20 to 30.
Okay. And would you agree that you were about as loud as I was on the day in question?
No, I would not agree.
So in other words, you're saying you were not elevating your voice at all?
Sir, I just watched the same video you did, and I can barely hear myself speaking over you talking.
Well, I was a lot closer to the screen, I grant you that. You do not have a hearing problem, correct?
I do not.
Fair enough. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, you may sit down. All right, any further witnesses, Mr. Moss? Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted to read the ordinance?
Yes, I would like to read for the record, Your Honor. It's 22-273. It says, the creation of any unreasonably loud, disturbing, or unnecessary noise in this city is hereby prohibited. Noises such as shouting, singing, or whistling, or noises accompanying loud, boisterous, or vulgar conduct, or noises produced by playing or operating a musical instrument, radio, television, stereo disc, tape, sound system, or any other instruments or devices, whether amplified or otherwise at any time, place, or manner, as to unreasonably annoy or disrupt the quiet comfort or repose of any person in the vicinity are hereby prohibited. Now with that, and I don't know how you'd like to handle this, but I would like to essentially call myself and make a very short statement.
Okay, so I've just been presented with a copy of the ordinance as well as what Mr. Moss just read into the record. Okay, sir, you, I'll have you if you'd like to make a short statement, but just, so you'll be subjected to cross-examination.
Right, do you want me to do it from the stand, or?
Well, I'm going to have you first, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So help me God, I do.
Okay. I'm okay if you stay there. Are you okay with that, Mr.
Sorry, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, essentially what I want to say is what I just read from the ordinance. No neighbors made any kind of complaint to the police department, to my knowledge, other than Mrs. Calipori calling initially, whether or not she made any statement after that is not known to me. And that's the extent of my statement. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr.
I have no questions with regard to that statement, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything, any rebuttal witnesses, Mr. Hurley?
No rebuttal, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm prepared to make a statement if you need it.
You may.
Your Honor, the people this is a civil infraction, the people have the burden of proof by preponderance of the evidence. I think the video that was presented provides clear and uncontroverted testimony that the conduct of Mr. Moss on this particular day, July 21st, clearly is in violation of the ordinance that Mr. Moss read and that I presented to the court. Mr. Calipori testified that Mr. Moss's behavior that day did in fact, I specifically cited the language from the ordinance and confirmed that it was annoying and disturbed his peace and quiet enjoyment of his own neighborhood. So on the basis of that, I ask the court to find Mr. Moss responsible to the charge here. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Moss?
On the day in question, while I admit my conduct could have been a lot better, so could others. Mr. Calipori's conduct, and certainly then Sergeant O'Neill's conduct for sure, as it was very unbecoming, to say the least. With that in mind, no neighbors complained whatsoever about this, and as it states in the ordinance, basically without a complaint, there is nothing regarding that other than the fact that it was some loud noise during the day, which was not disruptive to anybody. And Mr. Calipori always had a chance to go back to his own house if he felt that it was disturbing him instead of being in front of mine. Thank you.
Okay. So the court will note that in viewing the video, I found it quite disturbing, quite frankly. And Mr. Moss, while you acknowledge that your behavior could have been a bit different, you also, on that day, you also stated that Mr. Calipori's conduct could have been a bit different. What I saw with my own eyes on your recording was that Mr. Calipori exercised great restraint. He did not raise his voice one time, not even when you were making chicken noises at him and talking about the song that you made. And you came out of your home with the video because you heard doors closing on his truck. So for that, you stated your testimony, your statement in the video, which has been offered and accepted, or offered and admitted as Defense Exhibit A, was that you came out, you started recording as soon as the doors slammed. The ordinance indicates noises such as shouting, singing, or whistling, or noises accompanying loud, boisterous, or vulgar conduct, or noises produced by playing or operating a musical instrument, radio, television, stereo, disc, tape, sound system, or any other instruments or devices, whether amplified or otherwise, at a time, place, or manner so as to unreasonably annoy or disturb the quiet, comfort, or repose of any person in the vicinity are hereby prohibited. I would submit to you, sir, that making loud chicken noises out by Mr. Calipori's truck was clearly unnecessary and an unreasonable annoyance and disturbing of the quiet comfort or repose of himself as he was there at his truck. And then you went on to talk about his backside, how he should pull his pants down to moon people, how then talking something about his truck, how he's got a different color hood. All of that was unnecessary. Whether or not that would be considered a violation of the ordinance, I'm not going to that extent. I'm stating to you, absolutely unnecessary. And then to go and pick up a piece of bark and put it back on his property, why? Why? It's very trivial, very petty, very immature conduct. Clearly, you have an issue with Mr. Calipori. And I know there's been a number of back and forth, many times you've been in this court, but from what I saw from that video, Mr. Moss, you invited trouble. And Mr. Calipori didn't buy into it. In fact, he even said he didn't have a problem with you. You have the problem with him. And you continued to harass and badger him. Your voice got very loud as you're singing, making the clucking noises, the chicken noises. And then as the officers got there, you immediately raised your level of volume. Whether it was Lieutenant O'Neill, then Sergeant O'Neill, or whoever it was. Even Officer Parker was speaking with you and you're getting loud. So the court finds that you're responsible for violating Ordinance 22-273. You originally were charged with disorderly conduct, and then that was dismissed, and then it was issued as unreasonable noise. I'm not really sure why that all happened, but it did. And so the court's going to find you responsible. What's the fine? 105 or 90? What is that? 90. $90, sir.
Thank you,
Do you
Your
have
Honor.
that to pay today?
I do not.
Okay, when are you proposing to pay it?
I can pay half of it on Thursday and the other half of it next month at the same time. That's okay with the court.
All right, so this Thursday, the 30th?
Correct.
Okay, so then I'll indicate $45 by January 30th, and then $45. I know there's not a 30th of
By the end of
February,
February, it'll be fine.
but it could be February 27th would be the next Thursday, that last Thursday in February.
Whenever I get here in February, I mean, maybe before the end of the month, but, you know, you want to make it the end of February.
I'll make it February 28th.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay, Mr. Moss, I would strongly encourage you, when you see Mr. Calipari, he's parked in front of your home, which anybody has the right to park in front of your home. It's a public street. It's a public street. And if anybody parks in front of your home, whether it's Mr. Calipari or otherwise, ignore it. Ignore it. They have the right to park anywhere on the street. You can park 5 houses down. Just because it's in front of your house doesn't mean it's only your spot to park. Okay? I'm just giving some suggestions so that perhaps it will reduce the amount of time that you're in court. And perhaps give you a little bit of peacefulness. All right, good luck to you. Have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor, that concludes our document.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of your, this, what is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're gonna start bringing people in person. People are gonna learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.